Welcome to Broadway Speaks Out. This is your host, Martin Gould Cummings, and we are sitting with Tony nominee Jonathan Groff. Hi, Jonathan.
Hi.
So we're backstage at the Delecorte Theatre where Jonathan is doing the BACCHAE.
Yes.
So tell
well
us a little bit about this production.
It's directed by Joanna Colitis, and it's got, I think the most exciting thing about it is that it has this score by Philip Glass. It's amazing.
And it opens on the 24th and runs to the 30th, correct?
Yeah, we run for a week.
Awesome. And this is not your first production here at the Delecorte. Last summer and the summer before, you were the first Claude in the revival of Hair. So what was it like working on that production that's now gone on to Broadway?
I can't even describe it. It was like the most incredible summer of my life. It was unbelievable to do Hair outside with that company of people. It was unbelievable. I never thought that I would get to come back to the Delecorte Theatre and do another thing. This is like the most magical space.
Well, yeah, I mean, just the beauty of it. And the bagpipes that were just playing.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, totally.
And did you give any advice to Gavin before he stepped into the role?
No.
No.
It's actually really funny because Gavin, when I was in high school, I don't even think I've told him this. I saw him in Thoroughly Modern Millie and was like obsessed with him. And I have a picture of me and Gavin Creel and my math teacher. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of his, so he didn't need any advice.
Great. Yeah. Why did you not move on to Hair on Broadway?
Well, I had done Spring Awakening for a year and a half, and I loved every second of it. You know, never drug my feet into the theater once. I really loved it. But I thought if I'm gonna do another long-running show, I want it to be something that I haven't done already. And I felt like, I'm 20, I was 23 then. I'm 23 and I committed a huge chunk of my life to this project, Spring Awakening.
Yeah.
And when I got out of that and got to catch my breath, I thought, let me see what else I can do instead of sort of signing on for, a year in a role that I'm sure, every day would have been a challenge and I would have grown doing Hair. But I really wanted to see if I could push myself and do something I'd never done before, and
try new things.
And I had no jobs lined up. There were certainly no offers coming in.
Yeah.
So it was sort of a leap of faith that I would get something, or something would happen to me in my life personally that would something would happen.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to sort of evolve artistically.
I totally respect that. I think that's awesome that you just took a leap of faith with your career. And,
it was hard because I love that show and I loved everyone in the company so much. It was like a really hard choice, but they say listen to your gut, and I just had this feeling. I was like, I gotta push myself. I moved here in the fall of 2004, 5 years, on October 21st.
So in less than 5 years, you've done 2 Broadway shows, gotten a Tony nomination, worked with Olympia Dukakis, and were directed by Ang Lee. So what is that? Okay, that for 5 years, that's like what most people work for their whole life, and you've done that in 5 years. So what was it? First of all, because I love Steel Magnolias, Olympia Dukakis, what was working with her like?
Olympia Dukakis I think she's my hero. I was a huge fan of her from that movie, from Steel Magnolias.
And Moonstruck.
As well as Moonstruck, yeah, which she won her Oscar for.
Yes,
yeah.
With Cher.
Yeah, with Cher. Did Cher win an Oscar for that too?
I think so.
I think she did, yeah.
Did she? Yeah, because I think I read that she uses it to prop her balcony open with.
Wow.
Just IMDb or something. I don't know.
Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, Olympia Dukakis is a legend, A, first of all, and B, a really hard worker. And sort of the thing, she is not young. And when I was watching her in rehearsal, she was off book, at the very beginning, had an opinion, an idea about everything that she wanted to do. She was incredibly collaborative. During tech rehearsal, this is like the inside scoop. During tech rehearsal, she was sitting in this chair that they had for her, and she was saying all day, there's something wrong with this chair, there's something wrong with this chair. At 10:30 at night, in a blackout, you hear splintering of wood and Olympia Dukakis screaming, and the lights go up, and Olympia's on the ground, she was the chair broke.
Oh my gosh!
She was thrown out of the chair, and she does yoga every morning. She takes good care of herself, but
A chair breaks.
A chair breaks, and she's, yeah, you know, and so they, like, helped her up, and she was, like, a little, like, oh, my God. And they were like, you know, Olympia, there's only half an hour left of rehearsal. Why don't you go home, make sure you're okay, and whatever.
Yeah.
She's like, no, get the folding chair. I'll be fine. And so they got the folding chair, and she sat there for the last half of an hour while they were just focusing lights on her. Someone else could have easily done it.
Could have used it, and she stayed.
And she stayed, and I was like, okay, you've set the bar.
Set the
so
bar.
now when I'm in my late 70s, if I'm still working and a chair breaks, I can't pull
you can't
the
stop.
card.
Yeah, it's like a master class in how to guide yourself.
Yeah, and that's just one little, like, slice of... She's an incredible woman.
You did hair, and then you moved on to taking Woodstock, which is another from the same generation, the 60s. So did you use the research you did for hair to influence that performance as well?
Absolutely, yeah. While we were in rehearsals for hair, I had my first meeting with Ang Lee, and he dropped this, like, 4-inch 3-ring binder on my lap, and he was like, here's the start of your homework, just the start. And I was like, oh my God, but it was great because it worked for both projects.
Yeah.
You know, I was researching the late 60s. He gave me, like, a bunch of films to watch and, like, 5 mixed CDs of music to listen to, and I read the electric Kool-Aid acid test and, you know, all this stuff, but it was great because I got to live in that world. And I felt lucky that on my first film I got to do all of this research and sort of live in, like, the late 60s. So when I showed up, I really felt like I was in touch with, like, the vibe.
In touch with it. And it's just open, correct?
It opens August 28th, so in like a week or two.
Go see it.
Go see it.
This is just totally random,
Okay.
but Anthony told me to ask you about the Kids in the Sound of Music tour, because you did that. That was like your first thing, right?
Yes. What did he say specifically?
He said to me before I left for the interview today, he said, you have to ask Jonathan about these kids because they're just funny. What was like just the most random funny experience working with these kids?
The coolest thing about it is we just had a Sound of Music reunion about 3 weeks ago, and I got to see all of them. We, like, still keep in touch, and this was 6 years ago that I did that tour, and they're awesome. They're so great. They were such great kids, but it was a non-equity tour, and we all were on the bus, and it was one bus, and there wasn't an extra seat, and so, you know, we did a lot of, like, one-nighters where you would travel, do the show, go to bed,
sit down,
wake
get up,
travel,
and go.
yeah, or like 2 days you spend in one town. So for the first 3 hours every morning on the bus, we weren't allowed to talk because the kids had to have school in the back. And then one of the kids, I won't say who it was, but I think this is maybe the story that he was talking about. One of the kids, I can't say their name or whether it was a boy or girl because I don't want to embarrass them, but ate at California Pizza Kitchen before one of the performances, and totally shit their sailor costume on stage. Yeah, they, like, went sprinting off into the wings and, like, exploded. Yeah, so we had to go on.
We won't say their name.
No,
it's okay. It's happened to all of us.
Really?
No, but I just want to make them feel better. Oh, poor guy. Well, we've all had, like, embarrassing, like, little throw-uppies or things.
Or I sometimes I pee myself when I laugh. That's happened to me before.
That has happened to me before in high school. That happened to me, and I was really embarrassed.
I was doing a show one time with this girl, my friend Julia, who's seeing the show tomorrow night, and I somehow, like, touched her arm or something and scared her, and she peed her pants on stage completely.
It happens.
It happens.
It happens. And come see Jonathan in Central Park. Previews now, and officially opens on the 24th and runs through the 30th, and it's free. So Central Park, Delecorte Theatre. Thank you so much, Darlene, for sitting down with us.
Thank you. You're
and
the best.
we look forward to your lengthy career. Yes, gorgeous.